Hey, are we starting? How are you starting? Is this going? How do I know? Good morning and welcome, fellow Sovereigns. Now, the title of this podcast is rhetorical. We all know the answer to the question if it's asked in this way. However, there are other ways of prompting people to forget who they're responsible for and where they can most effectively make a difference on the planet. And one of those ways is there's been a series of posts recently about the fact that women would rather meet a bear in the woods than a man. And then there's a very long post as part of this series listing all of the dreadful things that men have done, all of the abuses and everything, terrible things. True, men have done these things. So have women. But men are the major contributors to these crimes, if we say that. And men are the major, creators of this misery. And what these posts are wanting to do is have men feel ashamed and responsible for the actions of a very, very, very small number. 0.6%, I think, is the number of men who commit these stupidities. Which is kind of like saying that all of the hundreds of thousands of hockey players, all of them should feel ashamed and responsible if two hockey players burgled a store. Or that all firemen should feel ashamed and responsible if, of the hundreds of thousands of firemen, 3 of them committed rape. It's not logical. It's only hateful. And when someone wants us to hate somebody else, because it's a stirring up of hatred against men, and when you've got a small number of men doing really stupid things, it's stirring up a whole lot of hatred against men. And it's obviously turning a lot of men off women who are promoting these posts. Totally illogical, totally hateful. And when someone wants you to hate someone else, so these women are wanting people to hate men, and they're wanting men to hate other men. It's a diversion. It's a diversion from their own self-hatred. When someone wants us to take revenge against somebody else, that's a diversion from the hatred that a person has against themselves and that need to feel that they need to get retribution against themselves. But instead of being honest about it, they project that hatred against the rest of the world. The other thing that's very clear, and that most people who have posted this have missed out, is that it's a diversion, and it's a political diversion. So the Australian Prime Minister has leapt into this one. And he's going on marches with other people and making speeches about the dreadful things that men do, and we must address the violence of men. And creating this whole hatred that all men are perpetrators of violence and abuse and all of that kind of stuff. Some men are, but not all men. And I'm not going to defend any man. I don't care. I mean, I'm a New Zealander and I don't care what people think about New Zealanders. I have no interest, even whether you like them or hate them. I don't care what people think about men. I don't care what people think about, I don't know, bald people. I don't care what people think about writers. My only responsibility is to myself. I care about myself, and it's the only thing that I can change. I can't change the rest of the world. So the political diversion that's going on, because as soon as a leader nowadays gets into some sort of issue, we know there's something else going on that they don't want us to look at. So our current Prime Minister, Albanese, wants us to focus on hating men and perhaps doing something about it, but he hasn't proposed a single solution, not one. He's just promoting the hatred at the moment. Maybe a solution will come. Nobody's promoted a solution yet. So while he's doing that, beware people, because something else is going on behind the scenes. And I would venture to suggest that it's something to do with the CDBC. Is that what it is? Central Banking Digital Currency, CBDC. They're trying to promote this. And so they choose a very an issue that's very easy to inflame. Men are abusive, men are violent, men are all those terrible things. Yes, and it's very easy to fire people up because there are so many men who don't like themselves, there are so many women who don't like men. So it's a really simple issue to get people fired up. And so they've zoned in on this, and they've suckered in a lot of women who think this is the issue. The issue is behind the issue. And I'm suggesting that we just hold the horses a moment and look at what else is going on in the background. And also, so that's the political thing that's going on. Just watch what's going on behind our backs while they have this lovely circus going on in front of us. And secondly, while this circus is going on, look at ourselves. How much do we hate ourselves? The more we buy into the hatred of someone else, the greater is our self-hatred. And if we stop and use the circus as a reflection of how angry do I get about men committing these things, how quickly do I get fired up about this issue, how inflammable am I, how quick to burn am I when this issue comes up. If I am really quick to burn, if I'm full of the fury and I can't let it go, then I have a major issue. If it touches me somehow, mentally, my heart, my guts, my whatever, it gets me fired up. If it gets me fired up, that's the time to look at me. I am the only person I can affect. I am the only person that can make a difference to this world. I can't change anyone else. I didn't say that right, did I? So, whenever an issue comes up and it fires the heartstrings, or the brain gets fired up, or the guts, or whatever, one of those three intelligence, when either or all of them get fired up, that's the time to stop and look inside with honesty. Does this fire me up? No, I don't care. Fine. There is nothing to do. I don't care what people think about. And I used to be an accountant. I don't care what people think about accountants. It doesn't fire me up. I don't care what people think about bald people. I don't care what people think about writers. If a criticism comes up about a group that you are part of and it doesn't touch you, it's like, so what? If you're a Hawaiian and people are going on about Hawaiians and you go, well, so what? Then you're free of your own torment. If someone goes on about women and you're a woman and nothing happens inside of you, then you are free of your own torment. However, if something does go on, that's the time to stop and be inside yourself. Be with the mirror. So this campaign that's been promoted is a wonderful tool if people would use it in the right way, because every tool, a hammer can be used to hit somebody, or it can be used to build a house, build a home. Every tool can be used in different ways. So I'm suggesting that this campaign to shame and belittle men can be used for our own personal growth. If it fires you up, it's time to stop and look. If it doesn't fire you up, it's a nice reflection that you've dealt with the demons on that particular issue, on that sphere of life. So let us thank those who have started this campaign, and it's going to go for a little while. It's a bit like the Me Too thing and all of those others. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to learn about ourselves. And myself is the only thing I can affect. I cannot change anyone else. And I have no intention. I'm too old and I don't care. So, I wish you another campaign to see how you react. I wish you another firelighting experience. There's going to be more of these. There's going to be more and more, and probably more frequently. And every one of them is a diversion, both from a political thing that's going on behind, but it's also a diversion from the hatred that those people involved have for themselves. That's a wonderful reflection, a wonderful instrument for us to reflect on our own personal growth. So, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago people had criticised me and I might have got upset. Nowadays I don't. Nothing happens. Inert. So I can tell myself in that particular sphere I have done the work. I'm sure there's some other spheres where I still have work to do. No, I can't think of any at the moment. So we can see from our past reaction to things to our current reaction to the same things, have we grown? Have we done the work? Have we released the anguish, the hatred, the bitterness, the disappointment, all of those things? So let us celebrate every time someone has a cause, because that's a wonderful reflection or wonderful way for us to reflect on our progress. As Byron Katie says about doing the work. Have we done the work? And that's all I have to say, and I wish you peace and a wonderful day.